Hello, in this lecture we will see the power on reset circuit of 8086 processor, then the clock generation circuit and the details, and then the hardware interrupt pins INTR, NMI. So let us start here with power on reset circuit of the processor through 8284 clock generator. Now clock generator will be used to perform that reset operation of the microprocessor. Now here is 8086 processor reset status. It means that contents of various registers, queue or flag bits, how they behave or how they are set immediately after resetting the microprocessor. We know that processor is reset means processor gets initialized to the known value. So immediately after reset 8086 processor, all the flag bits will be cleared, means all the flags will be reset. Then instruction pointer will be cleared to 0, reset to 0. So 0000 hexadecimal. All these segment registers will be 0000 hexadecimal except the code segment register, which is equal to FFFF hexadecimal. And then the contents of queue, prefetched instructions, will be emptied, will be flushed, means forcefully removed immediately after reset. So from that reset status of microprocessor 8086, you will find that red colored CS contains FFFF and IP contains 0000. These two values are extremely important because they decide or they define the reset vector address of the processor. And by using the method for calculation of 20 bits of physical address, the contents of code segment register 16-bit value FFFF that will be shifted towards left by 4 bit, means one hexadecimal 0 appended on the extreme right FFFF0, and then the contents of IP added to it. So this way that reset vector address is calculated as FFFF0 hexadecimal. And this particular reset vector address is nothing but the memory address where processor's control will be transferred to execute that reset service routine. And from that reset service routine, instructions will be now prefetched. Those will be copied to queue and will be executed by 8086 processor, and then my system gets initialized. And then we normally say that my system, my processor is reset. Now here, how to implement this reset operation? In order to implement that reset operation, there is a power on reset circuit which is shown on the right side. Nothing but a resistor along with capacitor. A normally reverse bias diode is connected there because its cathode is connected to VCC plus 5 volt top side. And then a push to on switch S, which is shown on the bottom side parallel to the capacitor. And this particular circuit is called as a power on reset circuit. And this power on reset circuit is connected to RES bar. RES bar is nothing but the input of that clock generator 8284. This clock generator will be generating clock as well as it is providing the reset signal to the microprocessor. That's why crystal is also shown on the top side here, which is for clock generation. And then the output of that clock generator on the right side, it is connected to reset input of CPU processor 8086 here. So reset pulse will be given for the reset operation. And keep in your mind that reset pulse should be of minimum 50 microseconds in order to properly reset processor 8086. Any clock pulse, any reset pulse less than 50 microsecond will not ensure processor to be reset. So minimum 50 microsecond or more than that reset pulse is required to reset microprocessor. Now question here, why this particular circuit is called as a power on reset circuit here? It is just because whenever you switch on the power supply, VCC, which is shown on the extreme left in the diagram, whenever you switch on the power supply from 0 to plus 5 volt, there is a sudden change, abrupt change. And we know that for any abrupt change, the capacitor C, it works as a momentary short circuit. Because capacitive reactance Xc is equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fc. Any abrupt change, 0 to plus 5 volt VCC abrupt change, this abrupt change is having infinite frequency component. So during that particular abrupt change here, frequency is infinite, so the capacitive reactance will become 0, and as second plate of capacitor is connected to ground here, RES bar becomes 0. RES bar input of that clock generator becomes 0. So at the moment you switch on the power supply from 0 to plus 5 volt, capacitor that moment works as a short circuit, making RES bar equal to 0. So that clock generator will be giving a reset pulse, beginning that reset pulse at the output. And this reset pulse is given to the processor. Now what happens as that time passes? As that time passes, the capacitor starts charging through the resistor R, and the charging current from VCC through resistor through capacitor, it reaches to the ground. From top to bottom that current flows. Capacitor starts charging with upper plate positive and lower plate negative. Obviously RES bar voltage will go on rising now. Positive voltage goes on rising. And when that RES bar becomes 1, means capacitor gets sufficiently charged to declare at say logic 1. So RES bar becomes 1, and all of a sudden this output of clock generator, that reset pulse, that ends. It means that the width of that reset pulse, it entirely depends on RC time constant of that power on reset circuit here. Larger the components of R and C, then more will be the time taken by that capacitor to get charged to VCC, and broader will be that corresponding reset pulse. So accordingly you can select that resistor and capacitor and then adjust that particular reset pulse width to minimum 50 microseconds so that microprocessor 8086 will be properly reset. So this is power on reset circuit operation here. Now thereafter, suppose you want to reset processor in between. Besides capacitor, there is a switch. That switch can be pressed so that capacitor quickly discharges through that closed switch. RES bar made 0 that moment, and again that reset pulse starts at the output of clock generator. Once you release that switch, then capacitor starts charging again through that resistor, capacitor. The upper plate of capacitor, when it charges to logic 1, RES bar becomes 1, reset pulse ends, and then the processor will be reset. And once processor is reset, it obviously goes to reset vector address FFFF0 hexadecimal. Reset service routine will be executed, and then my entire system will be reset. Entire system is initialized. Now in that power on reset circuit, what is the use of that diode? This diode will come into picture only when you turn off your system. When that system is turned off, VCC will now, topside VCC will now become 0 here. Capacitor charge will be quickly discharged through that diode, because by that time diode becomes forward biased, so that no charge will be left across capacitor here. It means that diode provides a quick discharge path for the charge of that capacitor when the power supply is switched off. So this is all about that power on reset circuit and its operation. Now the clock signal and clock generation using 8284 clock generator here. Now this is the second function that 8284 performs. It is generation of clock. So clock is generated by external 8284 clock generator, and this clock generator should generate a single phase clock that is above plus 5 volt level. It must be 33% duty cycle clock, 1/3 duty cycle clock. It means that on period of that clock should be 33%, off period should be 67%, and that way that clock should be generated here. And that clock frequency should be optimum 5 megahertz, and the minimum clock frequency should be 400 kilohertz. This part we have already covered in the features of 8086 processor. Then how that clock is to be generated? What is the source? Source to generate that clock can be external function generator or by using a quartz crystal. Now let us see here. Out of these two sources of generation of clock, normally quartz crystal is connected to between X1 and X2 pins as the source of frequency here. Now here it is clearly stated F/C bar is equal to 0. Whenever crystal is to be used as a source of frequency, FC bar, this signal should be logic 0. Because C stands for crystal, that is C bar. F is function generator, external function generator. So whenever F/C bar is equal to 0 means we are connecting a crystal as the source of frequency between X1 X2 pin, and whenever FC bar is equal to 1 we are using function generator as the source of frequency. But normally crystal is to be preferred over function generator because crystal is having better frequency stability over external function generator. Okay, that's why FC bar is connected at 0 here. But when that crystal is connected, in that case external frequency input, which is used for making connection to external function generator output here, is not used. Okay, that's why clock generation circuitry, it looks like this. Here is that clock generator. I am using crystal as a source of frequency, 15 megahertz crystal connected between X1 X2 pin, and I am making sure that the source of frequency is crystal. That's why FC bar must be connected to ground. At the bottom it is shown, and external frequency input EFI pin, it is not used at all because it is used for function generator. I am not using function generator as the source of frequency. And then this clock generator output is connected as the clock for 8086 CPU, and this clock will be of 5 megahertz. Okay, try to correlate the frequency of that crystal and frequency of that clock which is connected to the microprocessor. It is divided by 3. It clearly means that the clock frequency is equal to source frequency. Here it is quartz crystal 15 megahertz divided by 3. That is equal to 5 megahertz operating clock frequency of the microprocessor. And because of that divide by 3 operation here, this ensures 33% duty cycle. 33% duty cycle, it is also the 1/3 duty cycle. It clearly means that 8284 clock generator, if crystal is connected, it should be of 15 megahertz. So it is divided by 3 to give 5 megahertz clock. If external function generator is to be connected to EFI pin with FC bar connected to logic 1, crystal remote, that external function generator should also generate and give a 15 megahertz input to that clock generator, so that it will be divided by 3 and a clock of 5 megahertz will be ultimately generated. So this is about that clock and clock generation circuit by using 8284 clock generator. Now next comes here, that is the use of test bar pin in NDP 8087 interface. Now here is a simplified setup. I am not connecting that entire interface of NDP to the CPU 8086 here. Just that NDP is busy output line, which is active high, connected to test bar input line of 8086 processor. Here test bar is active low. This is not complete interface. This is just for understanding the function of test bar input pin here. Now whenever NDP is busy, 8087 NDP is busy performing floating point operation, then what happens here? It makes busy equal to 1. As it is directly connected to test bar input pin of the CPU, so it makes test bar also 1. And whenever test bar is equal to 1, processor 8086 goes into wait state. It clearly means that out of these two processors, coprocessor and processor, whenever coprocessor or NDP is busy performing operation, processor will be in wait state. Next, when that NDP completes its operation, floating point operation, then what happens here? NDP has completed operation, so that busy will be 0. It is no more busy. When busy is equal to 0, it makes test bar equal to 0. And whenever test bar is equal to 0, processor will come out of wait state. Written clearly, processor comes out of wait state. And whenever processor comes out of wait state here, processor resumes its normal data processing task. It clearly means that in this particular interface here, out of these two processing elements, one will be functioning, the other is definitely in the wait state. And vice versa. So this is all about the test bar input pin and NDP 8087 operation here.